Introducing the African Diaspora News Channel app, your gateway to stories that's overlooked by the corporate mainstream media.
At African Diaspora News Channel, we cover stories that don't receive mainstream attention, and we serve as the voice to the global Black community. We are committed to informing and educating through the power of media, connecting the African diaspora one story at a time.
With our platform, we're helping to end injustice by exposing it.
Join us in standing for excellence in journalism and serving our community. Download the African Diaspora News app today.
All right, Ngozi Adichie, Chimamanda, was featured on a podcast and she was interviewed and she had something to say about the Europeans and African relationship. I need you to watch the video and we'll come back to talk about it.
I'm thinking about these things in terms of righting historical wrongs. This whole sort of conversation about refugees, particularly in Europe, for me, I keep thinking, well, but 150 years ago, you went to Africa, you didn't have visas, nobody asked you to come. You sort of go in there, you plunder, you do whatever you want. It's not that surprising that 100 years later, they kind of want to come to your place. And so I think maybe that should frame the conversation, just sort of as a moral basis. And so in that way, I kind of think about Health Walk, that it might actually be a good way to think about it, which is to say that there is a certain kind of responsibility, I think, that the West has. And I'm not saying this in the way, I can just so imagine somebody from the right saying, well, what you're saying is Africans are not responsible for that. That's not what I'm saying, right? But I am saying that colonialism, which was a brutal and terrible dictatorship, resulted in countries that were never going to work.
Now, she has said something beautiful. This is one of the most intelligent and articulate talks that I've heard in a while. I like the fact that she's unafraid. Have you read Ngozi's books, Chimamanda's books? Have you read them, from Purple Hibiscus, Half of a Yellow Sun? She knows how to make Africans know who they are. She knows how to make Africans understand their roots and make them understand that, hey, you're not bound by anything. You see, whatever it's called, colonialism. She said something there that 150 years ago, you came to Africa without visas. Years later, you are requesting that we Africans should come to your country with visas. So help us make sense of that. It is how the Europeans and the West generally have been able to put Africa under their armpits. We are under the armpits of the West like this, because I keep saying this thing that, why is it that you want to travel to a European country? You have to go submit your documents, pay so much just to get visas. At the end of the day, they either deny you that visa or they give you the visa, and then you get into the country, you are met with so much resistance and barrier just because you're an African. And they say that they are scared of Africans. They are afraid of Africans, especially Nigerians. Bro, if you are coming into, and then you can always come to our country, Abi, and then you want to be an expatriate, you want to work in our companies, you want to take our jobs, and you want to come in so freely without any, without any barrier. So I'm always saying this thing that if you are going to request visas from us to come into your country, I think that we should be doing the same thing. And that's what Ngozi Adichie is saying. She also said that colonialism gave rise to a lot of countries in Africa that are not going to work because we are operating the style of the West. A lot of the things that are happening in Africa right now, we're not doing it according to how it should be by our standard. We are doing it the standard of the West. Take a look at our dressing. Some of these things that we wear are things that the West have given us to wear. All right? We are speaking English presently. English is not our mother tongue. It is not our language. It is the language of another country or another community. We are borrowing it. And it has become a universal language. So it is very okay for us to speak English. But you find out that even some of the children that they are giving birth to in Nigeria, they don't even know how to speak their own local dialect. So a parent thinks that once he gives birth, he teaches the child English language, and for that child to know English language, he has known a language, and that's what matters. Hello, that child needs to know your language. Your language is the first thing that you should teach your child before even thinking of teaching your child, maybe English language or some other languages. Anyways, Ngozi Adichie has spoken so well there, and I'm so proud of her. And I'm still saying this thing that Africans should begin to demand visas from other countries if they are going to come in here. If they'll give you tough time to go there, we should also give them tough time. They shouldn't also find it easy to come into this place, because when they come in, they take everything away from us at the long run. What's your take on this? Do you agree with Ngozi? Are you saying that what she's saying doesn't make sense, or do you think that she's spot on? Leave your comments. Don't forget to subscribe and share this video. I'll see you in the next commentary.